So we would be working on this thing. That was the homework actually. So if you go to the homework section, here you will find it was expected to build this, which is nothing but this thing. I am opening it in the Canva. Okay. Now, what is your thought process? Whenever you saw this thing, what you have imagined? Yeah, you can tell me. What was your thought process? Hello? How did you started? How did you start exactly?
First, I created two navbar.
Two navbar. Why two navbar?
First and second.
No, this is not a navbar actually. This is the browser buttons.
Okay.
So the first one is the browser buttons. So actually you need to have only one navbar. Correct? This is only one navbar. So whenever you have seen this thing, how did you imagine the things? So remember that whenever you implement the layout, a good engineer first visualize the things. Visualization is important in the beginning. So what things you would be needing? So one navbar would be needing, okay. Then the main content is needed, main. Then if you see, main is divided into two columns. Right, main is divided into two columns. You can say this two column means main would be having the Flexbox, correct? And into that there would be this one column and this would be another column, correct? But in the main, this would be first as a row. Main would be having what? Row. Now this row would be having this as one column, this as one column, this as one column. Correct?
Yes.
Now how to implement these things? Even if you look at this, this nav is also one of the row. This much is also one of the row. And this part is at the left hand side over here. So this can also be something, right? How to place these two buttons, that is also important, like this. Placing these two buttons is important. Then this is the header. You have this as a header and below that there is a text. How this is happening, this is also important. So before you build this thing, you should imagine all these things. Let's try to implement this. Today is the day 14th. Day 14. And here I can say index.html and style.css. Let's import the index HTML5, a login screen or first simple screen or simple page. We can say simple product page. Simple product page. Now we would be having header, we would be having main, we would be having header, we would be having main. And if there is a footer, we can have footer also over here. Let's import the CSS, link rel CSS, style.css, style.css. Now in the beginning, let's work on this bar, nav bar. So nav bar would be having this hamburger menu, this thing. Then search bar, it would be having this icon, it would be having. How do you arrange these things? Look at the screen. Let's work on the nav bar. So here we can say nav. In the header, we need to have something called as nav. Now let's go to the style, HTML body, width 100 VW, height 100 VH. Then header, width 100%, height 15%. And let us see a background color, shaded blue. Okay. Reveal in the Finder, and this would be link. It is looking like this. So just make height, you can say 50 pixels. That is okay. 50 pixels. Content overflows are there, if you see. Now, how do you place? Let's add this button, one image, this input box, and another image. Right? This hamburger menu, this image, and this text bar. So just Google it. We can Google it. We have some free icons available on the internet. Can you see this website? Some free icons available. Menu or hamburger menu. So that kind of menu is called as hamburger menu. Can you see this? So we can download this menu. Just download it, 30 pixel by 30 pixel. Okay. We can download it. And we can say ham. And straight away we can paste it in our folder. Day 14 over here, ham.png. Next, we would be needing this icon. This icon. We can say user. You don't need exactly. Yeah. Let's have it. User. Download. 50 pixel by 50 pixel. Just download it. User. Okay. So we have two icons with us. User.png and we have ham.png. Okay. It's a black, that's why it is not showing. So first, if you need to add this thing and these two things, what do you imagine? How do you do that? What's your idea? So we can add one img over here, img, src, ham.png, then input type search, input type search, placeholder, search, and then one more thing, img, alternative text we need to add. Here we can say menu, user, and here user.png. So we have nav, search bar, and this thing. But we don't require in this way. If you look at the UI, so search and this would be at this side, and hamburger menu would be at this side. How do you do this thing? Can you tell me? Your voice is not clear.
Hello.
Yeah. How to do this thing? Div. Div for whom? Div for what? Why to create a div? Hello?
Hello.
Okay. Let's have a nav display flex. Nav display flex. Now what I will do, let's add this thing into a div. Correct? Let's add this thing into div. And here we can say justify content space between. Can you see these two things have went here and it is here. Align items center. Align items center. But see, div and this item is in the center, but this div is having some content. What about that content? So this div, can you see this div is nothing but this search box and this. We can add border to this div, and here we can say some class nav left, nv lft, sorry, nav rt, nav right. So here we can say nv rt dot nvrt. Again this would be display. This is a div, means container, flex, right? Justify content space between align items center. Can you see this? If you say space evenly, see what happens. Nothing happens. Let's add border to this so you'll get to know how much that div is. 1px solid black. You don't need to write a black, only this much. And how much this image also would be this much. Can you see the div? If you want little higher width, you can say flex. First you need to say grow 2, shrink 1, and default auto. Can you see a little bit more? The black box is this much. So if you give flex to this, if you give grow and other properties to this, you need to give properties to this hamburger menu also. Otherwise it will happen in this way. If you say 1 1, see there is no impact. Why? Because this flex item is not having any grow and other properties, right? And that's why this property, let's comment it out. Otherwise you need to give grow and shrink property to this guy also. So to the nav we can give little padding. Padding from all four sides, say 8 pixels. Padding from all four sides. It shouldn't be to the nav actually, but it should be to the header. Padding 8 pixels. Can you see here? There is a little padding. To remove this horizontal scroll bar, change width. You can say 98 VW. There won't be any horizontal scroll bar. Can you see that? So this image you have, this would be one flex item, and this whole div would be one flex item. I will remove this border so that you can see something like this. We can do any lot of fine tuning over here, no problem. We can do that. Any questions? Is it clear? Okay. Now we have done this. Can you see there is a little more gap? Here also there is a gap. Here also there is a gap. We can do that. But before moving ahead to that part, let's think, how do you do this thing? This is the main section. Now we are in a main section. Main. And we can say main is divided into two columns. Main is divided into display. So you would be having a row or column. What exactly? This display flex, right? In the row, items would be getting placed horizontally. We can give a little background color, aquamarine. And if you go here, yeah, width and height. So generally, don't write this here. Create a separate class. Just say width 100%, height 100%. Now dot container. Display flex, and inside this there are two divs, class container. This one div, another div. Now these are the flex items. So we have created this one div and this another div. These are the two flex items. Now what? Inside this, let's have H1, and we can say new collection, and then paragraph, and just copy this. You can add any text, no problem. Then below that, now see, this is a div. Below that, one more div we would be needing. And join now login, input type button, join now, and login. And see what happens now. So new collection, thoughtful combination of design and something like this. And inside this div, we need to have one img. Let's go to the internet. We can say Google and mobile app. Just a minute, I'm searching image. Let's try this image. I'm downloading this. Mobile. And the container we have. Instead of writing like this, we'll do something else. So let's give a class, say app info. Name of the class is app info. And this name of the class is app img. Okay. So dot app info dot app img. Background image. Didn't we download it? Mobile dot, yeah, URL. Mobile dot svg. Scalable vector graphics. App img. App img. And app info. App info, app img. Why? I think this guy is not getting width and height. Correct? Width 100%, not 100%. We can say flex 1 auto. And here also we can say flex 1 auto. Now tell me the property. And justify content center. Tell me the property for not repeating this image. We have seen this. Background. Background. Position. What background position? Check and let me know. Or background attachment. Or background origin. What's the property? Background attachment fixed. Background position, background image. Tell me what's the property. Repeat, no repeat. Okay. Now let's add borders to this guy. Border 1px solid red and 1px solid blue. This much has become first 1 auto 1 auto. Can you see this much is? Yeah. Now to the container, this is the width. So inside container we are. So this is the container. Inside that app info, app img. App info, app img. But my concern is that flex 1 auto, border 1px, and that's why it is at the center only. flex grow. Let's add width 50% and this also width 50%. Okay. Now tell me the property. Background image, background position, center. Okay, so image came to the center. Now this app info needs to be the flex. To arrange in this way, we need app info needs to be like a flex, correct? This app info needs to be a flex. Display flex, and flex direction in this case would be column. Flex direction in this case would be column, or let us see flex wrap. Can you see flex wrap into the picture? So you can make, if you comment this out, see what happens. Flex wrap, all would be in one row, right? Because by default direction of the display flex is what? Default direction of the display flex is row. Now this is also row only. Now also it is a row. But what happens if you do flex direction column? This is also one way of doing this. Can you see? Now justify content. Remember that right now your main axis is column. So justify content center means, justify means along the main axis. See, along the main axis. And align items cross axis, center. Can you see this? But here if you see, they should start like this. So to the paragraph also you need to give width, right? To this paragraph, presently it is taking 100% width. We need to give some width to this paragraph. So go here to the paragraph. Let's apply class info content. So go here, dot info content, width 25%, or little more, 30%, right? So new collection, this, is it looking like this? New collection, this. So there is a space between this and this two. Well, to the paragraph, if you see, unnecessary margin is coming over here. So what we can do, go to here and you can say margin 0. Can you see little less margin is there? Now we need, so this also we have taken as a divs. Okay. So we can say info buttons, one class, info btns, margin top, you can say 16 pixels. Okay, class we didn't apply. Class info info btl buttons. Refresh it. Can you see little gap is there? Little gap is there. Info btns. Now this can also be a display flex. Display flex. Justify content center. Align items center. Refresh it. Why? Let's give some border to understand what's happening. 1px solid red. How much is this div? Okay, only this much is the div. Because we didn't provide the width 100%. Can you see now? This much. What is this app info? App info buttons. App info. Inside the app info there is a info buttons. Justify content center. So this new collection, app info content. What is the info content? Text align center. Text align center. Or we can say text align left. Text align left. So this h1 also we need to target. Class info header hdr. Info hdr dot info hdr text align left. Okay, fine. Now this much is the width. So if we can give justify content center, align items, just a minute, align content space around. Okay, say that again. There is no flex wrap. There is no flex wrap, that's why it is not working. Fine, no problem. But now if I remove the border from everywhere, see what happens. Is it similar or what? Where is a, this is a nav bar. To the nav bar we have added few things over here. So here also we need space, little space. So join now, login. This image has been attached to the background. Image have been attached to what? Background. Now to remove, I don't need this, just make it 98 viewport height. So still there is a space. So 95 still there is a space at bottom. 90. Yeah, because I just wanted to show you on a one screen. Now if we increase little font, right, so font is different over here, and we need little more margin from the top, little more margin from the top. Okay, and the buttons, app info, so this is the container, this is the container, so width is, so to the app info. Now see, your CSS becoming not that understandable, right? So there is a way to do these things, but I want you to face some challenges first, then I will tell you the solution. Okay, info buttons, 32 pixel, style.css 32 pixel, and here refresh it, and actually width of these buttons, if you see here, width of this button is this much, right? So app info buttons 30%. Now let me add the border. Okay, justify content center. Yeah, space between, yeah, correct. So now separate CSS need to be given to the buttons. If you see, this is the black button, we can say black BTN or BLK BTN, and then we can say background color black and color white, and simply BTN we can say width auto and height 50 pixel, and border 1px solid black BTN. And so here we can apply, where are our app img, here we can say class BTN and black BLK BT. Just say BLK, remove the BTN also, BLK, and to this simply BTN. Join now and log in. We can give how much is the height over here. Actually buttons should be having same width. Info buttons width 30%. This is the display flex. So info buttons is a display flex. So here you can say 50%. Now you can go here and can you say 50 and 50%. Now info buttons, now okay, but it will look like this presently. We can just make, instead of 50%, make 40%, so that there would be little gap, or 45%. So it will look like this. It will look like this. Now, what about these three dots? Can you see there are three dots available here? What about these three dots? So we can put these three dots here. That can be image. And let's go to the Google and search dot dot. Or we can create that PNG also. If we didn't get dot 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 loading, it's kind of loading, dot 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 loading. On the internet you will get any kind of images, and if you didn't get it, we can create from the Canva also. Okay, I will show you how to create it from Canva. Not share. Canva. Create new design. Here we can say custom size, 300 pixel, and height 50 pixel. So this would be also a good lesson for you. One dot. How many dots are there? How many? 4. Just place exactly at the center. And little more faint, right? Position should be exactly same within them. Little more faint, correct? This much. Four dots. Download. We can download this. Download. 4 dots. Dots. And now insert dots. Can you see dots? Now index.html, img, src, dots.png, alternative text, dots. Okay, the way bigger. We can reduce the size. So here we can say class info dots, info dots, info dots. width 10%. If width is 10%, info dots. Okay, let's add the border. If you are not understanding, simply add the border. 1px solid red. Can you see image is, that is correct, but image is bigger. We need to operate on the image width and height. Class img dots, or we can give id because we have not used it. Hash img dots, hash I, not hash over here. Hash is in the CSS, remember that, not here. img dots width auto, not auto, 100%, and this width is 10%, right? This width would be 10% as expected. See here. Now info dots margin top 32 pixel. Margin top 32 pixel. Just comment this out and see here. Is it looking same or not? Well, they have increased the width. Make it 20%. Right, height 10%. 10% way bigger, 3%. Okay. Height auto. Height auto will work only if your parent is having height. Presently, if you see, you write the height over here or you don't write the height over here. Height is inherited property. We have seen the CSS inheritance, right? So info content, if you height would be there, it will inherit from the parent, right? But your UI will look like this. Now you tell me, have you implemented in this way? Then what you have done exactly? You tell me your code, about your code. What happened with your code? Which one?
User and
Yeah, user and that user image, correct? What was the reason?
I think it is code.
It is what?
It is written in a code.
It is written in a code, but it has not reflected, right? That was the concern. Now, if you look at this thing, there is a way to improvise it. A lot of things can be improvised over here. So this app info and app img. So this thing can be improvised. We can, if we spend the time, we can create design exactly like this. No problem, right? But in real scenarios, you would be getting exact mockups. What you would be getting? Exact mockup. Mockup means what? So here also in the Canva also you may find some mockup template, login mockup. But before going to the mockup, this is the skeleton. If you can work on this design, you can implement anything. What the way I have implemented now, I have shown you from the very basics. See, I also don't know few things, right? And it is absolutely okay. It is not necessary that you should be knowing everything, and that is not possible actually. Being a web designer, you will, it is not the case that you would be knowing all the CSS property. Absolutely, what you can say, impossible thing. You will not even imagine all the CSS properties. There are a lot of CSS properties available out there. Correct? And out of them, as you require, you will work with those properties only at a time. Yeah. So now see here in this image, you got to know how to create images from the Canva. But if you see, the background is white. I will show you something. If you go to app info div, and if you give background color, say caddet blue, and refresh it, can you see background to this dot is white? Actually you are working on the white screen, that's why you're not getting this scenario. But few key things you need to know about today's topic. You can create the basic kind of images like this, but you cannot create images like this. For this you need something called as different image formats, like SVG, scalable vector graphics, right? So let's go here, CSS3, different image formats. Images, where are the images we have seen? Image formats. So let's create H1, different image formats. Image formats. So you need to know the image formats, remember that. You need to know so there are a lot of types of image formats are available. JPG. So first one you might be knowing, JPG. Then we have PNG. Then we have GIF, WebP, SVG, TIFF, JP2, EXIF. So I will write, there are several formats are used in digital media. There are several types of image formats used in the various purposes in the web and the digital media. Each format has its own characteristics and the compression method and use cases. Here are some common types of image formats. JPEG, Joint Photographic Experts Group. JPEG. Then PNG, Portable Network Graphics, is the PNG. GIF, Graphics Interchange Format. Then WebP, developed by Google and dedicated for the images on the website. SVG, Scalable Vector Graphics. BMP, TIFF, JP2, and EXIF, Exchangeable Image File Format. Generally, it is inside any of the format. So here you can see these are the formats. See, JPEG. What do you mean by JPEG? Lossy compression format suitable for the photographs and images with the wide range of colors. Supports high quality images, relatively small file sizes. Suitable for the web images and the digital photography. PNG, lossless compression. Now these are the compression techniques. Lossless compression format that supports transparency and the alpha channel. Now you know what do you mean by alpha channel, right? In the colors we have used. Ideal for sharp images with the sharp edges, text and the graphics with the limited colors. Commonly used for icons, logos, images requiring the transparency. GIF limited to the 256 colors and supports the animations and transparency. Suitable for simple animations. Suitable for simple animations, icons, graphics with the limited color ranges. Often used for small kind of animations. WebP, developed by Google. WebP is modern image format that supports both lossy and the lossless compression. Offers better compression and the smaller file sizes compared to the JPEG and PNG. Suitable for, this is only dedicated for the website images. Web images to improve the page loading time. Scalable vector graphics, right? To create the images, vector format that uses the XML to define the graphics with shape, text and the curves. Supports scalability, here you can say, without loss of quality and is resolution independent. This is very important. Resolution independent. Resolution means what? That image will never distort. Now we can download in the SVG format. See this image. Okay, so for this it is not a free, it is a paid. That's why I cannot download it. But I will show you some other images. Now we have something called as BMP, bitmap. If you have worked with MS Paint, image of the MS Paint gets stored in the BMP format. Uncompressed image format that supports various color depths, often used for simple and the computer graphics. TIFF, tagged image file format, flexible format, supports the lossless and the lossy compression. Commonly used for high quality images and professional printing. JPEG, an improved version of the JPEG. JP2 is an improved version of the JPEG. A better compression efficiency and the quality, suitable for high resolution images. If you have seen the cameras, high quality cameras generate BMP images, sometimes TIFF images. EXIF, not an image format itself, but the metadata. Now if you go to any of the image, reveal in Finder, and you see some metadata, get info. So whatever information you see here, can you see? Kind, this, where, modified, more info, right? Names and extension, comments, and whole these things are coming from the EXIF, right? Embedded in the format like JPEG and other formats. This thing is embedded in the other format like JPEG and other formats. Correct? So this is all about what we can say file formats, image file formats. Now tomorrow I am going to speak about what is a lossy and lossless comparison. If I start some different topic, please remind me. Okay, if I start some different topic tomorrow in the morning, please remind me about to talk little bit about lossy and the lossless. Well, that is in depth, but I will try to short it. Okay. Well, I have just intended to cover this homework only and show you in detail how these things are working. Okay. If you have any question, you can go ahead and ask me. Otherwise, we can conclude the session and we'll meet tomorrow. Right? I will upload the recording by end of the day. Yeah. Shall we conclude? Yeah. Okay. Thank you.